Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. This is Lya Pouleyy, and welcome to BRL episode number 11. So, today we're having Carla Maestro. Hi, Carla. How are you?
Hi, Leah. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. I met Carla through business class. It's like some online business courses from Sophia Amorouso. I don't know if you guys know her, but she's like a badass businesswoman, very famous. She built a multi-million dollars company without any loans, any debt, anything, and she's just like an amazing person. And during COVID, she started like the some new classes online, and I joined, and Carla joined as well. And Carla is from Spain, but she lives in Australia, and she's super cool. She was so active because we had a forum where we could talk, exchange, give advice, ask questions and stuff. And she was always super active, super reactive, super everything, and so kind. So, and she's having an amazing business that we're going to talk about a little bit before going to the actual blessing or lesson or both. And she's just an amazing person. And I asked to the forum who wanted to participate to one episode, and she was like, yes, yes, yes. And I got to know her. We've been video chatting, and I just love her personality. I love everything about her. She's dope. She's amazing. And she owns design and photography and an animation studio in Melbourne. And she's just going to talk about it. I think it's better because I'm talking too much right
I like it. I'm just feeling all the love, so you can keep on going for me.
now. So, yeah, can you tell us more about your studio in Melbourne, Australia?
I can. So, yeah, we do photography, motion, and website design, and we focus on creating emotional connections with your audience. So, we just want to help small businesses that they have this brilliant idea or they have a beautiful craft that they love and they just want to create a real connection with their audience through photography, motion, and website design. And we just connect the dots for them so they can just, be worried on what they are good at, and then we can worry on what we are good at and just create a very good and nice experience for their audience when connecting with the business. So yeah, that's what we do.
That's perfect. And I remember she showed us one day on the lounge a promoting video that she did for her company. And it just blown my mind. And I think it blown everybody's mind because that is so true. Like, you have a lot of design studio, a lot of everything. But there is like this sensitivity that is missing. There is like this emotion that you're talking about, and no matter what you're selling, you have to sell from here, I guess. And the way you were doing it was just like perfect. It was like poetry, or or something, and I could really feel it.
Uh-huh.
I saw that, I was like, yeah, like I could work with that person, I could work with that studio, because you're not a person, you're a studio. And I just loved it because I'm very into emotions. So when I see something that, yeah, like that is touching my heart, if I can say so, I just love it. So what gave you that idea of focusing on emotions to create?
Yeah, so I am a very emotional person. um, I think that, so yeah, as you well said, I was born in Spain, I was raised in Argentina, fell in love with the love of my life. He was Australian, and here I am. And so I think that I've always moved a lot, a lot, a lot. I've always been here and there, and you need to find places, moments to connect, because as you're in constant movement, yeah, it gets tough. You start thinking, well, where I am from, who am I? So You just need to connect with people or places that then you can feel at home, whatever home means, because if you ask me where home is, I have no idea. But you know what I mean? So I started develop all these emotional needs, to say somehow, and maybe now I'm too emotional, but I thought, okay, what is something that I enjoy, what is something that I connect with, and it's always emotions. I always check how I am feeling when I'm doing something, when I'm with a person, or when I'm going to take a decision, and it's important to be aware of that. And yeah, when we were doing business class, the first flight module was about your jet fuels. What are the things that you're good at, and what are the things that you're not? And I think that sometimes when we start, or when someone starts a business, they think that, okay, things that I am good at has to be something very specific, like numbers, or sewing, or I don't know, journalism, but we don't consider things like, okay, I'm good with creating emotional connections. That's something that maybe you just take for granted, or just don't think that it's going to be a jet fuel. And through all the process of business class, for me, it was a lot of internal work, and an internal journey. So I had to be very honest with what do I think that I am good at, because it's also tough. Like if you're insecure or stuff like that I am, it's really tough to be in front of a piece of paper and be like, okay, what am I good at? Let's check about that. And the first thing that came along was emotions. That is true. And I had the same feeling that you had. There's a lot of design going on. There's a lot of studios going on, because it's something that you can do anywhere. You can connect with clients from any part of the world, and with what is happening now, it's a pretty good choice to take with COVID, being unemployed, trying to do something on your own. So find your niche or your blank space was tough. And when I was analyzing the competition, I couldn't feel the connection. I was like, the design is beautiful. I really like what you're doing, but I just don't feel the love, or I just don't feel the excitement, or I just don't feel whatever I was supposed to feel. And I think that pretty much when you start a business or something like that, you do it by seeing something that it's missing in your opinion, and you want to create. And I was missing the feeling. I was missing everything. And then I just connected things that I like. I really like photography, and I think that photography is a magnificent tool to create a mood, or to create an environment. I love animation. I think that animating images or telling a story, we all like a story. It's very good. And if you're creating a brand about whatever self-development, you want to tell your story of how you find your own self-development, so then people can reflect on you, or they can find points to connect with you, and that's a connection. And then that person will reach out with you because they felt comprehended, or they felt seen. And then that's how you create a connection, and possibly a client, and a relationship. So, and then website design, I really think that home it's the most important place where we've been in this year. I think that we're starting to understand the value of being home and having a safe place. And a website, it's your online home. It's where you invite people in to see how you are, what's your style, what's your vibe, and for people to see how they feel when they are with you, because Instagram is all good and sound, but you're not creating the environment. You can show things through photography, but I think the final rounded thing is that website where you hook them on Instagram through a video or a photography, and then you're like, you like that? Let me show you what is at home. And then you have home,
Yes.
So I just felt that those three tools were really good in order to build that emotional connection. And I think that we need to create those emotional connections more than anything this year and the years to come. So yeah, those were that's how I connected the dots.
I truly love that. Since you work from home and online, you can get clients from anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah, I think that it is the fear, isn't it, of I can see you physically. But this year we were all challenged on being more open to the idea of doing things like this.
Yes.
You're in America, I'm in Australia, and this is supernatural for us. But maybe a couple of years ago, people were like, I don't know if I can trust you, because also there's a payment.
Yes.
In the middle when you work with someone on the other side of the world. So I just think that it may sound a little bit ridiculous, but I really think that what happened this year, removing all the sadness and everything, that of course that's another story. I really think that it make us ready, or it got us ready to work and to interact in the world that it's coming. And we really need to understand that the world is the world, and we can literally go and work with someone from the other side of the world, and it's fine, and we can trust that it's going to work out. So it is a good exercise. We were forced into it, but I think that as we were all on the same boat, we didn't have any other options. We really had to move forward, because also this affected everywhere. So economies all over the world have been affected. But I think that Europe, in when it was summer that we were talking about, they were in a better position that it was winter for us. So if we could have find a client that they were, everything was open and people were traveling, they were more open to the idea of investing in their business. That maybe here in that period of time, everything was closed and no one would invest in anything. Yeah. So then you have that option of, okay, Europe is going all right. Let's just try to see if we can fish something there. So yeah, I think that trying to see on the positive side of things, this year was a really good in-house training on how to operate and deal with anyone, anywhere, and that's a good thing in my opinion.
True. And do you have a website?
I do have a website. It's www.carlamaestrostudio.com. I'm in the process of rebranding as a result of our class in business class, but until January that will not happen. But yeah, that will be my website. My Instagram is Carla Maestro, and yeah, all the love will be much appreciated. And there I will communicate all the rebranding, the process. It's gonna be fun. I'm actually really excited. I just need time. But yeah, this last month that things started to go back to normal, work knocked the door, and of course with how everything was this year, I was just like, yes, hello, let's and make a little bit of a delay on the rebranding. But yeah, really excited.
You're getting there, girl. And so
I am.
So as an entrepreneur, I decided for Blessing Our Lesson to take another direction, and I'm so excited to start with you that new journey, because I really want to focus on business people so they can be entrepreneurs, CEOs, business owners, small business owners, or people with like very high responsibilities, or even some people, just like being a full-time mom, like is a job, is like you run your business. So it's really for people who are managing something else than just themselves or somebody's job. So, and I want people to understand that they're not alone in that journey. And no matter what's happening, maybe that happened to somebody already, and hearing you or someone else can be a good way for them to see that they're not alone, that you can provide advice or give lessons, tips. So that's why I decided for Blessing Our Lesson to take that new direction. And you are an entrepreneur, business owner. So what blessing or lesson do you have for us today?
Well, I think that
just 1 second, sorry, because there is a tractor now.
Oh wow.
Like, show you.
Nice.
Like you can see it. Now we're back.
Nice. So my biggest lesson or blessing is to, no matter what, and no matter how long it takes you, keep showing up for yourself and keep pushing through. I remember that when I started thinking about having a business, so basically, long story short, I had a job. I wasn't happy with it, to be honest. And I was a little bit in this internal search of finding my passions and my direction and everything. But at the same time, I had bills to pay. So I was just living my dreams or my desires on a side, just because, you know, life was knocking the door and I couldn't not pay attention to that. Then COVID came along. I got made redundant, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's a typical moment in the movie where the world is literally falling. You're on your own, and you have to take a decision. So I remember that I was with a lot of anxiety and a lot of uncertainty. And as I said before, I am not in a very confident moment of my life. So I was thinking, okay, I am on my own and I have to take care of myself. How can I do that? And the problem is that every time that I was looking for inspiration and stuff like that, every time that I find someone that I admire in their book or in an interview or everything, the first thing that they said is that they were a very confident person. Mm-hmm. And because they were confident, they were able to do everything. So I was always feeling like, okay, so if I am not, does that mean that then I'm not going to be able to do it or to succeed or to whatever? Because I couldn't see myself and my story reflected, and I couldn't connect with my situation. So I remember that was a little bit of a disappointment, because everyone that I admire, the first thing is just, it's so exact, is that they said that the main thing or the main attribute that they have is confidence.
Yeah, true. So true.
Exactly. And I remember talking with my husband, and I was like, you know, what should I do? Because, you know, if I don't have A, B, C or D, apparently you don't make it, blah, 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 blah. And I am very lucky because my husband is just very beautiful and very sweet. He always said, you can write your own story. If no one had, maybe you can be the first person that with insecurity push through. Yeah. And then if someone else is out there and having the same situation, that they thought that because they were insecure, they were not going to be able to do it, then, you know, there you are. Yeah. And yeah, I cried like a baby. And I said, it's true. You never know. And the truth is that if I don't try, how can you know? So it is a process. Every day I have to be very mindful, to be present, to keep on showing up for myself. So it's an everyday exercise, because if you don't have the mindset, it's literally like going to the gym. You have to train.
The tractor again. Can you repeat, because I couldn't hear anything? I'm so sorry. Sorry.
That's all right. I don't remember what I was saying, Lya. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's. So you were saying that you are in process. I should do tea next time. It's bad. It looks so cool when you're talking and you drink. I just love that. I'm gonna do that.
That's good. Nice. Yeah. So the lesson or blessing is that to keep showing up and to keep pushing through. And that was a decision that I made. I made that I had to do it. And yeah, and if I didn't see someone to reflect myself into, or just to build it myself, and that's a very daily exercise to be very aware and conscious and to train the muscles in my brain, to show up for myself, to keep pushing through until one day it's just something natural and you can just do it. So yeah, that would be my blessing or lesson.
Okay, and about that, do you have an example?
Yes. So one of the, when I decided to take business class, a promise that I did to myself is to put myself out there. Just do it. It's gonna, yeah, people may like you, people may not, but just push through and break the fear and do it. So I promised myself, or I challenged myself, to be very active in the community that was attached to business class, that was the lunch. So yeah, I would make literally on my agenda every day at least 1 or 2 hours, maybe 1 hour at the beginning of the day, maybe 1 hour at the end, to be very active, to read comments, to help out, to reach out, and to share my story, and to also make people feel comfortable when sharing their story. Yeah. And yeah, and that was my mission. And then you saying that at the beginning, that I was very active, makes me want to give me myself a golden star, because I did it. And also at the end of the class, our last chat with Sophia, she also appreciated that I was very active in the launch. She joked that I was even a collaborator, and for me that was a very important comment, because of course she doesn't know, but for me it was my mission. That was the promise that I did myself at the beginning of business class. I have to do this no matter what. If I don't manage to accomplish anything else in the day, at least I had to show up there. And it was very rewarding having that comment from her and having it now from you, because you know, maybe I consider that I did it and maybe it's not. So it's good to know that I actually managed to do it. So yeah, that was a very, very hard exercise, but yet really rewarding. So that was good.
That's really cool. Congratulations for that. And
thank you, Lya.
Did that boost your confidence? Do you feel more confident? Like, how do you feel after accomplishing that mission?
I don't know about the confidence part. I do believe that we were very lucky, and we had the group of people that we share in that class. It's so beautiful and amazing. And I think that we were all ready to go there with the same principles and ideas. We were all going to support each other no matter what. We were all going to share our horror stories and our biggest success, and you can see that. So I think that it was a very good and safe environment to do it. I don't know about the confidence, to be honest. I'm still struggling, but it did help me to, if a challenge like this comes along, it did help me to give me the push to give a try. Instead of being too scared and not doing it, it did give me that push. That it could be confidence at the end of the day. Yeah, it gave me the confidence to push through the wall and give it a try. So yeah, it did.
It did. I like that. How are you going to behave within the next future about your confidence? How are you going to manage that when you're going to, I don't know, talk to clients or approach some other companies or other entrepreneurs to offer your services?
Well, that is one of the things that I think that business class helped me the most, because my decision is to let my work to speak for myself in that regard. So reach out, of course, and be backed up with what I can do. So if I reach to you, for example, I see your website and I think that you can do an upgrade or whatever, and I reach out and I do a mock-up, for example, and I'm like, hey, Lya, really like your work. I think that what you're doing is fascinating. I've been looking at your website, looking at your social media, and I think that I can help you upgrading the design of the website. This is a mock-up that I did, just testing out. I'm not sure if you're thinking of doing something or not, but maybe we can have a chat. And then you have the mock-up of what I can do, and you will feel things when you see that. I can assure you that, whether you really like it and you're like super excited and you're like, yes, I want exactly that, thank you very much. Or it's like, brave girl, she reached out, that's awesome. And you just respond and say, really appreciate your email, but at the moment I'm not thinking about doing anything, but I'll keep you in mind. And you just keep me in mind, because I can assure you that if in some moment in history you want to do your website, you're going to remember that every time.
Yes.
So I think that it's just doing things like that. But that's also the exercise that I will be doing as a training of my brain to get confidence. Because if I don't put it, I know that it's a little bit ironic, but if you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to train. Yes. But putting yourself out there is terrifying. So, it's a little bit of just, maybe taking a shot of tequila and sending the emails. But yeah, it's that's the exercise to do. And also I think that we all need, as an exercise of society, we all need to be more gentle and kind with people that reach out, because you never know what they're going through. You never know how much effort and emotional effort took that person to reach out or to send a message. So maybe for you it's something that you take for granted and it's like, yeah, okay, that's all right. But for the other person it's the world. So I just think that that's something important that we all have to learn, and it will help everyone. It will help everyone if we could all be like that. So just doing a little bit of a be gentle exercise.
Oh yes, we need that, like feminine energy, yin, we definitely need that. And even if like we know the answer, but I think it's a good reminder, what do you think confidence is that important when you're running a business?
It's important when running your life, you know what I mean? Like, it is true that the way that you show yourself is the way that people are going to treat you. Thing that I don't like. Again, that's why I'm saying I think that we all need to be very gentle. It doesn't matter. You have to be gentle anyways. But no one is going to take care of yourself as you do. And that was also part of all the the emotional journey that it was for me dealing with this confidence, because you are aware that the way that you treat yourself is the way that people are gonna see how they should treat you, and it's a realization. It's tough. It's really tough, but unfortunately, there's no other way. What I do is I always try to treat everyone super gently, because I also know that the person that is not valuing themselves is because they are probably doing the same journey that I am doing. Yeah. So therefore, I try to help. And individually, it's the everyday exercise. Yes. Of showing up and pushing through. So that is how I am doing. I'm trying to help outside people that I know that they are going through the same journey, being as gentle as possible, while I am building my strength and my confidence as much as I can. But it is a long journey, and we have to understand, for some people it's shorter, for some people it's longer, but it doesn't matter. I just don't want people to think that because it takes you 10 years more, it's not good enough. It is, because the willing of doing it, it's very good. It's a very difficult journey to do. And if you're willing to put your pants on and do it, you know what? I love you. So, yeah.
Very true. Thank you so much for that. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think that, well, if someone is going through this, just reach out. It's what you said at the beginning. Your podcast is doing that. It wants to connect people that they may feel alone in their own internal journeys. So just don't feel it. Or if you do, reach out, talk about it, and share it, because the more that you isolate yourself, the more difficult it's going to be. I did that and it's not fun. So just reach out, talk. And also it may happen that, you know, sharing your story is not easy. Sharing what you are going through, it's not easy. So choose the people that you're going to talk to, because also I know that sometimes when you get the enough courage to share your story and then the other person doesn't receive it in a way that you feel, you know, heard, it hurts, and that could make you shut down again, and it's just a very long process, and it's a cycle on never end. So be very aware, who are you choosing to talk to?
Yes.
And you don't I know that you have to put yourself out there and get out of your comfort zone, but baby steps, because it's what I said. When I decided to do that in the launch, I knew that the people that they were there, it was a safety net. It's not that I was going to a party in the middle of a drinking contest and I was like, hey guys, I have confidence issues, so just, you know, choose and make the journey as comfortable and as easy as you can for yourself. Because, and this is also, I'm going to say it to myself too, we can do it. It's possible. And hang in there.
We can all do it. True. This is possible. You're not alone. You can find some very good support. Get rid of the toxic people. Choose wisely who you talk to. You said it like so perfectly. You can just put yourself out there like a contest, like drinking contest party. It will be crazy. But yeah, choose wisely, and you don't need to have like the biggest circle. You can have a very small circle, but like a circle that you really trust, that you really believe in, who share maybe the same values as yours. And yeah, that's some of the keys to the success. That's so true.
Agreed.
Thank you so much, Carla, for your time, for this interview episode. That's a really good lesson, which is going to be a blessing as well if people can push through and understand what we've been talking about. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get some food. I'm so hungry. I need to eat.
No worries. Thank you, Lya. It was really fun, and I really think that you're doing a good. It's a good podcast. It's gonna be very helpful for a lot of people. So good job.
Thank you so much. And of course, we're gonna share it on the lounge with business class. And guys, like when they're gonna have like the second session of business class, you should join, because that's really something that is gonna change your life. If you're an entrepreneur, if you want to start a business, you need to do it with Sophia Amorouso. She's just an amazing human being, an amazing business person. She's been through a lot. She learned the easy way and the hard way, and she's sharing everything. She's putting herself out there. She's very vulnerable, talking about her wins and her fails, and it really helps us to be better business people. So yes.
Wow. There you are. Awesome.
Well, we need to help that woman getting more and more students, because I know, like, we've been talking about it, and business class really changed me drastically in such a positive way. I would love a lot of people to get the opportunity, if they are really serious about their business, if they have a good to take business class, because it's really going to change their game, no matter if they just started or if they're already making money or whatever. Business class is going to change their game for sure.
Completely agree. And also what is important is that all the business that they are being created through business class.
Yeah.
Their culture, their way of hiring, all the backstage of the business, it's gonna be such a good and new and different way of doing business that we've seen that it's not working. We need a lot of change in a lot of areas, and she is creating that change by teaching all these individuals, and then they will spread it in their business.
Yeah.
And I really think that it could be such a big change.
Super big change. So yes, so thank you so much. And don't forget to take care of yourself, take care of the people you love. Don't forget not to reject love, accept help. Be vulnerable with people you really trust. Don't forget discipline. Put yourself out there. Like, I just love the way Carla said it. And I will always say, drink plenty of water. Very important.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.